Good morning, good morning. What's up, witches? Good morning. Let's see. Can you hear me? Can you see me? What's up? What's up? Let me know. Good morning. Yay, what's up, Betty? What's going on? How are we? How are we? How we doing? Do you like that background? What's up? What's up? Music is clear. Good. Just trying to shake the cobwebs. Well, good morning. I am going to throw up a poll for you guys because I would like to know how you guys like the new look. All right. Good morning, Jeremy. Good morning, Key. Good morning, JB. Good morning, Miss Weeks. Hi, June. Hi, Betty. Hi, Val, Antonia. So I just threw up a poll in the chat for you guys if you would like to give me some feedback on the look of Tea and Tarot. It's a little dark in here right now because I was not expecting it to be so rainy today. I love a rainy day, but it doesn't really do much for the lighting. So we'll see how that works. I might, if I decide to stay right here all the time, I might have to do something about the lighting. But let me know how you enjoy all the other stuff going on, the background music, all of that good stuff. Let's see here. I think I have the wrong caption up though. I'm learning. Yes, here we go. There we go. That probably makes more sense. Okay, there we go. Yay! I'm learning new things. I'm learning. All right, so yay. So I wanted to do something a little bit different. It's Scorpio season, right? So of course I would be in the mood to totally transform, change up the look and stuff like that. But I wanted to, just kind of give a different vibe for our tea and tarots and take advantage of some of the things that are out there. I'm not like a technology phobe or anything like that, but I'm not necessarily like up on all the latest things. And there's so many apps and softwares and different things like that that you can use in order to make things more exciting and more interactive for you guys. So that's something I've been thinking a lot about the last couple weeks. As it turns out, astrologically, that makes a lot of sense. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But I've been thinking a lot about how I interact with the various platforms that I'm on, how I interact with you guys and all of that good stuff. And I realized that I wanted to give you perhaps a more interesting experience for our lives. Not to mention being able to put things up on the screen just makes it easier to like post stuff for everyone to know as soon as they come in the room. So yeah, so I'll be playing around with this more and things like that. But in the poll, how you feel about it, right? Because if it's a no-go, then it's no. But if you guys enjoy it, then we will probably stick with a more interactive approach to our live readings. If you are new here, then welcome. This is the live collective tarot reading for the new moon in Scorpio. If you are brand new around here, then we started going live together for collective readings way back at the start of quarantine. It was something we were doing weekly. It allowed us to come together, check in, read the energy of the collective, kind of keep a cool head about ourselves as we, dealt with a very scary time. It's still a scary time, but definitely the heart of quarantine was very scary, I think, for a lot of us. So it was really nice to come together. And as things have returned to normal, we have moved to having the collective readings happen on the live, on the full moon and the new moon. And I've been, like I said, kind of exploring and getting more in touch with myself in terms of like what I want to offer folks and how I want to interact and things like that. For a little while, I was making the replay just available to Coven members, but I was thinking about that and I was like, the collective reading really is for the question. So you guys can't see these chats because I have like the filter set up on YouTube so that inappropriate comments can't come through. So there's a person in the chat who is asking me right now to get naked and take off my shirt, which is hilarious. So I'm going to leave that person there because I like the view. So yeah, stick around. That's not going to happen, but stick around. You might learn something a little deeper today. But anyway, so I was just saving the replays for the Coven, but I was like, it's a collective reading. It's a reading of the energy for everybody. So I'm going to leave them up. I'm going to make them more interactive. I'm going to make them more inclusive, easier for people to understand and know what's going on and all of that stuff. So I kind of did a 180 on how I was feeling about that. But if you have been tuning into some of my other lives, or if you're already a Coven member and you've been to some of our Zooms this month, then you also know that at the same time that I want to offer more to the collective in terms of the collective readings, I'm very much going to be offering probably less to the collective. And I won't bore you guys. Like I said, a lot of Coven members are already here this morning and you guys have heard me talk about this, but just for everyone who isn't aware, it's really become clear to me that there are kind of two groups of people in the internet world. There are many more, obviously, but people seem to fall into two categories as far as I can tell. And there's the larger group of folks who subscribe to this channel. I think there's like 16,000 subscribers now, which is like, what? That subscribe to this channel or follow my Instagrams and things like that, and are really there just for like the entertainment, enjoy the videos and things like that, maybe like things from time to time, but don't really engage with the community, whether it's online or the community in person at my shop. And that's totally cool. I absolutely understand that, like, especially a platform like YouTube, that's kind of what it was based on, right? It was created to be a space where you could just type in something you need to know, and for free and real quick, you get your answer in video form. So I can't knock that, because that's really what the platform is for. But I also realized that by trying to create things or do things that are accommodating or helpful to the greater public, I don't necessarily have the time and the energy to really dedicate myself to the communities that I'm growing. And that's the online community through the Coven, and the in-person community that I'm growing through my shop, BronxWitch HeadQuarters. So that doesn't work for me. That to me seems really not balanced. And in order to make sure that I have the time and the energy to really pour into the communities that are pouring back into me, then that means I kind of have to do less for the general public that's just here for the entertainment. And I've got to make things more entertaining for you guys, but really only provide things that I am okay with being received as just entertainment. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So, that is something to kind of keep in mind as I'm going forward, as I'm doing things on these platforms. You might see a little bit less of me if you are not in the Coven, or you are not local and able to come to the shop and attend workshops and do things like that. But if you are in the Coven, or you are able to come to the shop and things like that, then you will be seeing a lot more of me. And we'll be doing a lot more things together, a lot more classes, online and in-person workshops, events, all of that stuff. So, yeah. Oh, Clara, I don't know how you got through. We will have to get rid of you now. All right. Still away though. Okay, I think you're in time now. So we'll see what happens if you clean up your act. You can come back. Allie, do you want us to be nice like you, or can we be ourselves? I always want everyone to be themselves. Don't try to be like me, and don't assume that I'm nice. A lot of people would say that I'm not. All right. So if this is your first time here, this is the live collective tarot reading. This is something that we do on the new moon and the full moon. We come together to read the collective energy and receive messages from spirit in order to prepare ourselves for the week ahead, the next 2 weeks ahead for this moon phase. We do talk a little bit about astrology to start, simply because it always ends up coming up in the cards anyway. So we would just be going backwards if we didn't talk about it at first. I am not an astrologer. I always like to remind you guys of that. And I do think it is a really good idea to follow an astrologer or two that is experienced with what they do. On YouTube, I really like Pam Gregory. On Instagram, I really like Luz Astral, LUZ_ASTRAL, which means changed her name recently, I think. And, I just have a couple of astrologers who've been doing this for a very long time that give really thorough readings, whether they do it for free on YouTube or through like Patreon or something like that. But I think it's a really good idea to just find an astrologer or two for sources of astrological information. Perhaps you prefer to read this type of stuff, so articles and websites and things that provide this type of information, because for me, in my life, I have seen a direct correlation between astrological transits and how I feel, what might actually happen in my life, actual events that might go down, and the way that people around me feel or the way that they are behaving. I started noticing that almost 20 years ago now, I guess, or 15 years ago, when I started bartending, and I started noticing how the full moon would impact my own emotions, the emotions of everyone around me, it seemed, and my shifts in general. Like bartending shifts would just be so wild and so weird on the full moon. So I started paying attention to that. I started educating myself about why that might be, and like looking at my life and seeing if it correlated with how the moon was feeling, what sign it was in, what stage it was in. And the more I did that, the more I noticed like it was crazy weird how it would line up. And I'm not the type to like go looking for information ahead of time. So it was like I'd be in the middle of something, going through something, having some experience, and then I would find out about what was going on with the moon or what was happening with the sun, and it would line up. So for me, that just, it made sense. And it has been something that I track and pay attention to as best I can. I don't necessarily have the time or the energy to focus on every single transit. And quite frankly, I feel like if you do, it might be more overwhelming than helpful. But I have noticed that if I pay attention to the moon and I pay attention to the sun, that it lines up with what I am going through, what I am experiencing. And it helps me to not be taken off guard, and not be so surprised, and to know, maybe kind of what to do about it. It's important and useful to know that, for example, what the sun and what the moon are doing might be making me feel more agitated than normal. So when someone does something that agitates me, it's helpful for me to know, okay, wait a minute. Am I really truly as upset as I'm feeling, or are my emotions kind of being impacted by outside forces that I might want to just check that, And that is why I like to think about what's happening astrologically as I prepare for my week, prepare for the month, etc. So that's what we do together. We talk a little bit about the big things that are happening astrologically, mostly what's happening with the sun and the moon, and occasionally some other things. And I like to try to tell you guys what I know about like actually exploring those things for your personal life. But in terms of telling you what astrologically is going to like directly impact you, I think that's something that you can get much better, much more thorough, much more perhaps tailored to you by going to an astrologer and getting a reading or watching their video. So I like to throw that out there. Astrologically, the things that are really big for me right now, well, first of all, happy Tuesday, happy new moon, happy Scorpio season, happy Diwali or Diwali for those who celebrate. Happy eclipse. We are in eclipse season, and it's a solar eclipse. I think it's a solar eclipse, but somebody tell me. Yes, Jessica Alexandra of Bahati Life is an astrologer and also a witch. Yes, she is. That's a great channel. I've watched a lot of her videos. Haven't seen a lot of them recently, but definitely a great option. Thank you for that, Emily. Yes, hi JB, hi Jeremy. Morning, everybody. Yes, solar eclipse. Yeah, so happy solar eclipse. So yeah, we've got a lot going on to celebrate. All of these things really culminate into a new beginning, big new beginnings, big transformations. So basically, if you are not ready to totally transform your entire life, you might want to just like sit the next 2 weeks out. We have Samhain coming up, which is the new year for a lot of folks, myself included. So yeah, it is just, these next 2 weeks are all about transformation, changing, big transition. So I thought it was so interesting, but not coincidental whatsoever, that I felt so motivated to change up the whole look of this page. I want to change up the website. I'm just like very much in transformation mode. And is it a coincidence? I don't think so. It just so happens that what is going on in the collective energy is really much rooted in transformation and new beginnings. We are starting eclipse season. I think that's important to talk about. So we had a new moon, the height of the new moon here on the East Coast this morning at about 6:59 or 6:49 a.m. this morning. It's new moon in Scorpio. We'll We talk about the new moon. We talk about setting intentions and it being a really right time for new beginnings. The moon is starting new. Oh, we have a birthday. Oh, happy birthday, KJ. Happy early birthday. Woo, 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 woo. Scorpio season. One of my besties is also a Scorpio. Her birthday's Halloween. So, love Scorpio energy. Very, very exciting stuff with them a lot of times. But yeah, new moon in Scorpio, we use the new moon to support our new beginnings, our fresh starts. The moon goes through a phase of darkness where it is totally unseen, and then it begins to give us that little crescent moon, that little peak of light that starts to come through, and that light will grow and grow. Sorry guys, I'm getting distracted by this Alysha in the comments. Oh, that's so funny. Who keeps telling me to take my clothes off tells me that they're not going to be in this stream anymore if I don't do it. So, threats have been made, guys. Good morning, Leslyn. Oh, your birthday's Halloween too? Ah, look at all the witches. All the witches. I love that. That's so witchy. Yes, so grows from the new to the full, and that energy is supportive of starting something new and nurturing it and growing it. And this could be something totally brand new, out of left field. But it could also be something that you're already working on, and now you are renewing your intention, renewing your attention, setting or resetting your intentions for another 2 weeks of increasing energy being put towards that goal or whatever it is you're manifesting. So I'm a big fan of all the moon phases. What am I talking about? But the new moon is special because I know that we witches talk a lot about manifesting and creating our own reality. So this energy is really supportive to that. We do have an eclipse, and eclipses are a little bit tricky. For me, they're basically like unplugging the plug on, your clock radio. And then you plug it back in and it's a total restart. So eclipses are times where I typically don't do any spell work because the clock is off. It's a time for me to prepare, to refresh, to clean, to get started for plugging the clock back in and starting over at 12 o'clock, So I don't necessarily do a lot of spell work, but I often do various rituals. The new moon is a time when I always fast, so I'll be fasting today, and that allows my body to also physically cleanse and refresh and restart. So I really like the new moon energy for getting restarted on things, and a new moon with an eclipse is like extra restart type of energy. Okay. What else is going on? Some of us celebrated Diwali or are celebrating Diwali. In America, people usually just say Diwali, which I don't think is the right pronunciation. Hi, Anonymous. And that is a celebration of darkness into light, losing the darkness, shedding the darkness, opening yourself up to the influx of love and light that the universe holds for us, that in particular we feel from the goddess, and just embracing that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, focusing on restarting myself physically and spiritually, resetting my intentions and my attention, and just really starting fresh. So yeah, I encourage you guys to do that too. And more often than not, we end up seeing these themes in the cards as we pull them, so I like to talk about them first. Hi, Jeanette. Yes, happy Diwali. Happy Festival of Lights. Jeremy, you like food too much for fasting? I love food. I absolutely love food. So when I end my fast, it's even that much more special. Like every bite is just like, so satisfying to be. And honestly, when I fast, I still consume food. I just consume it in liquid form. So, you know, people fast in different ways and different lengths of time and things like that. I basically don't eat any solid foods for about 24 hours. So I'll have chai, I'll have tea, lots of water. I will have various smoothies that I'll make with fruits and vegetables. And then, yeah, when I'm done at the end of the day, I'll usually end the fast with something light, something nourishing. You know, you just cleaned your body out, so it's like cheeseburger and fries, probably not the way to go. So I will usually break my fast in the evening with something like a salad or some soup. Yeah, I made a yummy roasted marshmallow and potato soup the other day, so that's waiting for me later. I'll probably make a little salad. So yeah, loving food is, you know what I like to think of it as? Like, we are food. You know, we are food. Like, we are what we eat. We consume food, and then it like breaks down and it becomes our body. So I like to try to give thought to the food that I eat, but also give myself break from that so that my body can shed anything that I may have put in it that it doesn't want to be anymore, and make room for new food and new me to exist. So that's kind of how I think about it. But I understand the struggle for sure. I understand the struggle for sure. Doesn't make it easy, you know, having a purpose behind it necessarily, but it is very rewarding. Candied nuts on salad? I agree. I have to go easy on the nuts though, as you guys probably can tell. I have the teeth of like 4-year-olds. They're not the strongest. They've been through a lot. So I try to avoid super, super crunchy things. Candied nuts can be kind of on the hard side, but delicious. But delicious. Plus, if you think about it, Jeremy, you fast all the time, you know? You're not eating in your sleep, right? Every time we go to sleep, we fast. You just don't have to think about it. But your body fasts all the time. So you already do it. You know? It's just about doing it intentionally to turn it into something that you can see the effects of. Yes. So we're going to start getting into the reading. Breakfast is breaking the fast from sleep. Exactly. So every time you have breakfast, like, you are breaking your fast. So you every day, really, when you think about it, you fast all the time. So congratulations to you, faster. You already do it. It's not as hard as you think. Your body, you're telling yourself that it's difficult, but your body's like, no problem. Like, we do this literally every day. So, something to think about. Good morning, Sabrina. Yes. We're going to get into the reading soon. I have some new cards and different cards here because I'm at home and I'm still kind of getting into my flow of doing readings from here, because for a while I've been doing readings from the shop. Today's Tuesday, So the shop is not open, but I will be there for most of the day. When I'm done here with you guys, I have some private readings, which I prefer to do from the shop. And then I have like some meetings and then like podcast editing stuff to do. But I also need to be at the shop because I should be receiving deliveries of lots of things for the upcoming Firesider workshop, which I know June is going to be at. On Thursday. I'm really excited. This is the first workshop that I've taught, so I had to like buy a table, like I had to like invest in this class. But I'm excited because now that the shop has these things, I'm going to be able to teach in-person classes all the time. We'll have the right setup, which will be great. Everyone can be comfortable and take notes and all that stuff. And then I have to go to the farmer's market to get all of our produce, which is like joy in my soul. One of my favorite things in the world is the farmer's market. I love shopping for produce. It's just so fantastic. So I'm going to go to the farmer's market, get everything we need. We're going to be putting a seasonal spin on our Firesider, so I'm going to be selecting some really interesting apples that are available this season that I'm just so excited to share with you guys. The farmer's market has some types of apples that you don't typically see in the supermarket that I have fallen in love with, so I'm going to be grabbing some of those apples, some spin on our Firesider, finishing up the manuals that you guys are going to get, and yeah, getting the deliveries of all the jars and all that good stuff. So all of that is happening today. Yeah, the farmer's market is vibes. I mean, if you're looking for the witches in your neighborhood, find the farmer's market. I promise that is where we are. That is where we are. And everyone's so nice. The farmer's market is also where I get the honey that I use for all of the medicine that I make. So pre-order for winter medicine is still going on, guys. Make sure to check the website. I feel like everything is about like half sold out. Bottles of the 2 medicines for now. I have roots on the way for another batch of detox potion, which will you'll hear more about in the upcoming weeks. But I'm only making 2 potions this fall/early winter. That's my cold and cough tonic and my lung tonic potion. And the honey that I use, I only use one type of honey. I use raw wildflower honey from the Ballard farm here in New York, and they sell at the farmer's market. So I will also be stocking up on honey for the winter medicine because the farmer's market ends in like November. So I gotta make sure I get my honey as well. You have a great farmer's market there. Yes, good. I love a farmer's market. If you can find one, definitely support it. A lot of your local farmers markets and farms do what's called a CSA, which is basically like a crop share program. So you can go and, shop individually and, buy your things, or you can do the CSA, which usually means you pay a flat fee and then you get a certain amount of produce every week or every 2 weeks, whatever the rotation is. And that is a great way to get your hands on a lot of produce and know ahead of time exactly what it's going to cost you for the season. So look into the CSAs if you're interested in, working, maybe making medicine or just having access to fresh produce and supporting your farmers markets. That's a great way to support them because it gives them the money up front that they need to operate for the season, and then you get free pickings of all their goodies all season long. So, Hey, Genocide Jen, welcome. First time here? Get cozy. You picked the right time to have this be your first live collective reading because we've got a whole new setup, new time. It's a whole thing. And cool name, too. All right. So I don't want to be late for my first private reading of the day. So we're going to start getting into the reading here. I have a random smattering of cards in front of me that I wanted to potentially play around with. We have the Mahogany Tarot by Kira Hickson. You guys know I'm a fan of this deck. I was gifted, True Crime is Your Specialty. Oh, sweet. I was gifted a deck recently by a community member who came and donated some decks to our used book and deck program at the shop. This is the Archangel Power Tarot card. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with this deck, but it features the archangels, and I'm very intrigued. I'm very interested in learning more about the archangels right now. It's something that I have not previously really been interested in, I'll be honest. But lately I have been getting nudges just to learn more. So I thought it was really interesting that this deck would be gifted to me at this time. So I think I'm going to pull from here. Kind of getting us ready a little bit to be thinking more about death, basically. We are entering Samhain season where death is probably more present on our minds than it normally is. So that's got me thinking very, very much about my ancestors, but also about angels. They have an interesting relationship to death. So I thought it was kind of cool if we maybe pull some of these cards. I will definitely be using these cards for the ancestral readings that I am going to be offering to the Coven community. So if you weren't here last live, I mentioned that I was thinking about doing something, and I'm pretty sure it's going to happen on Samhain evening. I'm going to probably come live maybe a couple of times to just kind of show you guys a little bit about what Samhain is like for me. I usually spend that day restarting everything with my ancestor altar. I completely clean it up, totally redo it. I usually cook a dumb supper, which is a Wiccan/pagan way of honoring the dead that day. So I'll be cooking, and then I usually work on my vision board that I make every year around Samhain. So I might go live with everybody to work on the vision board. Thinking about it, that might be fun. Let me know if you want me to go live while I make my vision board. We can maybe make it together. But in the evening, after the dumb supper is done, I am going to go live just with Coven members for kind of a special Samhain ancestor message reading. The reason I'm going to keep it just for the Coven members, aside from the fact that I already said much of the things that I do going forward will be just for Coven, is because rather than a collective reading, I will be answering your individual questions. So if you have questions of your ancestors, I am not a medium, so I will not be channeling specific people, but I will be asking specifically for your ancestors to come forward with answers to questions that you might have. So if there are things going on in your life that you feel like your ancestors in particular can help you with or give you some guidance on, come ready with those questions. You don't have to sign up ahead of time, JB. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it. I think I'm just going to be live in a private YouTube room like this, and you can just submit your question with like a super chat or something like that. I think is how I will do that. For everyone else who's here in this live, we're going to get into the reading, and if the message resonates with you, I definitely ask that you guys let me know that with either a super chat or a super thanks. These are two different things that YouTube makes available for you to show love to the person that you are watching. A super chat will bump your comment up to the top of the chat with like a big colorful box that I cannot miss. So that's also a great way to leave a message that you definitely want me to see. And a super thanks is something that you can do on the video itself. So you can actually now give a donation to the person making the video as a way of saying thank you for this video. And your super chats and your super thanks are really important. They support me and this channel and the community that we are growing online through the Coven and in person at my physical shop, BronxWitch HeadQuarters. So it is much appreciated, and I thank you in advance. Yes! Oh my gosh, Betty, you have been a member for 17 months? What? Can you guys believe that the Coven has been around for that long? That is wild. That is wild. It does not feel that long. That's so cool. All right. Thank you, Betty. Right back at you. I love that little gift. Mwah! Do you guys say GIF or GIF? I say GIF. Okay. So, yeah. Oh, also, I do have a couple other decks here. I don't know if I'm going to pull from them. I also have a little mini version of the Illuminated Tarot, which I have in like multiple different forms for some reason, but it's a really cute deck. It kind of marries the playing cards and the tarot, and I think it wanted to be with me today because I am talking about ancestor stuff, and I don't use tarot cards, like traditional tarot cards, when I am going to my ancestors specifically for messages. The tarot is not really something that they were familiar with in life, and they tolerated it for a while because that was what I needed. And then as I started to deeper in my walk with them, they were like, okay, it's time for you to learn playing cards because that's really how we talk. So I use playing cards in my own personal practice with them. And so this is a very interesting hybrid deck that mixes tarot with playing cards. So that's here. And then I pulled this card out, which you say it like me, GIF? Yeah. So then I pulled out this deck that I did a flip through on this video, on this channel before. And this is called the Witch's Alphabet Oracle Cards. You guys see this? Let me see. Let's see what you see. Okay, yeah. So it's called the Witch Alphabet Oracle Cards. It is by Michael Richmond of Shining Moon Studio, who makes all these really beautiful, like, hand-carved, stamped, stenciled, like, tarot things. Really beautiful. But this is basically an oracle deck that he created out of the Witch's Alphabet. If you're not familiar, the Witch's Alphabet is called Theban. It is, when did it like come around? It's an alphabet that was created by some dude named like Honorius Thebus, or some ish like that, like back in the medieval days. I don't really know, but either way, it is an alphabet that kind of it goes through phases of rejuvenated popularity among the witches as an alphabet to use for writing your spells, incantations, or pretty much anything else that you wouldn't want the average person to be able to read. Funny story, I really like writing in Theban. It's not that hard, like once you get into the flow. This is the whole alphabet. So it looks a little complex, but once you get into the flow, it actually kind of flows pretty easily. I don't know why that is, but a friend of mine, one of my dear friends, is incarcerated, sadly, and for a little while, we tried to write our letters in Theban, but you cannot send code, like things written in code, to the jail system. because they think you're talking about who knows what, right? You could be talking about anything. So they sent my letters. I think the first one went through, but then the second one they were like, you can't send this. And I was like, no, we're really just literally writing regular things, but it's in witchy language. But they didn't get it, so it didn't work out. But yeah, it's a cool language to use or alphabet to use. So you might look into it. But these cards basically take the letters of the Theban alphabet and associate it with an image and an energy, and you can use them as oracle cards. So we might pull from there today as our oracle card. So just throwing that out there. You just subscribed? Welcome, Genocide. Welcome. We're a pretty cool crew. You guys, I think the person who was asking me to take my shirt off has left live. That's really, can we drop a rest in peace for them? Can we give prayer hands or a halo, a headstone? Can we rest in peace to the troll in the comments that has passed on? Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being here. May you go into the light. All right. Yes, thank you, Sabrina. Yes. Yes, rest in peace, troll. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, Betty. Thank you for your troll homicide. I support it in this case. Yes. Hey, Mika. Yes, rest in peace. Rest in peace. Thank you. All right. So let's see what Spirit has for us for this new moon. This eclipse new moon, Scorpio season, Divination season. Get ready for Samhain season. Just real quick, because I forgot to mention on the eclipses, we are in eclipse season. So that means we have a solar eclipse now with the new moon, and then 2 weeks from now when we have the full moon, we will have another eclipse that will be a lunar eclipse. And the full moon happens and the eclipse happen to coincide with November 8th, which in this country is a big day politically. It is election day. So that is very interesting. The new moon with an eclipse is very much about new beginnings, new starts, new sources of light, clarity, exposure, etc. The full moon with an eclipse is very much about endings, totally big ol' endings, which is very interesting that it coincides with a day where important decisions will be made, political seats that may have been held for very, very long periods of time will be lost. I was listening to Pam Gregory, and something that she said stuck with me, and I want to share it with you because endings can be very scary, and sometimes they're very unexpected, or sometimes they're endings of things that we've gotten really used to, that have become staples in our lives, and it can be very, very, very much our moment. And she pointed out that the new beginning that is happening now is what is causing the ending we'll experience in 2 weeks. So keep that in mind. Whatever you set your intention on, the thing that you are manifesting, the thing that you are starting new, that new light, that new spark that is coming into being now is precisely the thing that's going to lead to the ending we experience in a couple of weeks. So try to keep that in mind when that ending comes to be, that you asked for that. In one of our podcast episodes, Nicole Benzo said, your new life is going to cost you your old life. And I think that's an important thing to remind ourselves of as we go through these next 2 eclipses, that the new things that we are manifesting, as wonderful as they are, in order for them to be, something else will have to go. And try to remember that when things come to an end or they have to go, try not to cling on to them too hard out of fear or out of sadness or whatever it may be, because it's got to go. It's got to go in order for the new thing to have space to actually develop and take root in your life. The old thing has got to go. So when we get to the 8th and we see some things that we are used to having around or used to being in place in our lives or in the world at large going, remember that we need to let it. We need to let it. Okay? So also, I am warm. So now I am going to take off my robe. I'm not taking off my top. So the troll didn't win. And they didn't get to see it. They weren't here to see it. You lose, I win. Y'all know I get sweaty when I read. Some of you, some of the OGs know exactly what I was going to say. I knew someone was going to mention, no, Betty, I don't have my fan because it's in the shop. I don't have my fan. Yes, I know. I always get hot. I don't know why I set myself up for that. Because it's like, it's chilly now. So in the morning, I'm like, let me put on my robe. I want to be nice and warm. And then, literally, I start doing anything. Especially if I start, meditating or doing readings. And I immediately start getting hot. And I'm like, why? Why did I put on the sweatshirt and the extra socks? No, Leslyn. If you guys can't see the chat, Leslyn is sharing that mystery. Her house cat passed away yesterday. So can we all send some love to Leslyn and her mom, who is also recovering. So I'm so sorry to hear that. Much love to your sweet house cat. Passing on to Kitty Heaven. Alright. Okay. While you guys send your love to Leslyn, I'm just going to take a quick minute to just come back into this space fully. Ask our ancestors, our angels, our guides, our guardians to be with us. This reading is for the collective energy. We're asking Spirit to bring forward the messages that would be the most helpful, the most guiding, the most high vibrational to the entire collective. Asking each person to receive a message today, to connect with the things that resonate with them, and to let go of the things that do not, so those messages can be received by others. If this message does resonate with you in some way, please remember to say thank you to me and to Spirit with a super chat or super thanks. Okay. I'm sorry, Leslie. I think I want to start with the angel cards. All right. So our angel card here. Oh, thank you, June. Sending a prayer for mystery later today. Thank you. So here our angel card is the Chariot, Archangel Metatron. Archangel Metatron is considered to be like God's scribe, God's communicator. He does all of the communicating of the messages from God to the people. And the message here is determination and self-control, career advancement, and acknowledgement of success by others. Okay? So I'll say that again. Determination and self-control, career advancement, and acknowledgement of success by others. All right. So the energy from this card is that this new moon phase is particularly relevant to those of us who are making changes in our careers, changes in our jobs. It's a reminder to be determined and patient in a lot of ways, and to not try to rush the situation or get ahead of yourself. The Chariot is a very interesting card because in most depictions of it, and in this one as well, the two animals in the front. Sometimes it's the sphinxes in the RWS, it's the sphinxes. In this depiction, it's horses. Whatever it is that are in the front of the chariot. Typically, the charioteer does not have reins for them. The chariot is just kind of magically being led along by the animals that are leading it. And it's a reminder that we are on a journey and that we will have choices to make, but we can't necessarily control every little bitty detail. And in fact, in some instances, especially when the chariot shows up, we don't want to be trying to control every little detail because we would actually just be meddling with the things that are going on. I feel like this is a message for those of you who are thinking about using this new moon to actually do spell work, especially spell work in regards to your careers, your jobs, your finances. This to me is a message to maybe back off from those plans and instead surrender to the energy of the phase of the moon. Setting your intention, repeating affirmations, having a vision in mind of where it is you want to go, but not going so far as to trying to control every single aspect of how it comes to be. Okay, we have a tendency to think that we know what's best and we know, how to accomplish what it is that we want. And a lot of times that is not the case. A lot of times the path to the vision that we have looks differently than how we would do it. If we could write it out on paper or draw it out as a plan. It's important to remember that we are in cahoots with the universe. We are not in control of it, nor are we outside of it, okay? We're in cahoots with the universe. We are crafting our reality and our futures in collaboration with the angels, with the ancestors, with the other spirits that are rooting for us and helping us along. It's a group effort, okay? So if you try to take complete control and do everything yourself, despite their oftentimes signs that they are working behind the scenes and conspiring, a lot of times you will end up doing things that just make the path harder. Okay, so this is a reminder to set the intention, set the vision, have clarity about the goal, but not necessarily get so bogged down with the how. How is this going to be? What am I going to do next? Instead, keep a clear vision of where it is that you are trying to go, and don't lose sight of that. And try not to get discouraged. The worst thing that you could do is to get off the chariot. The worst thing that you could do is be like, oh, forget this. You're not going the way I want to go, so I'm just going to abandon ship. Stick with it. Stay there. Keep the clarity of your vision in mind. Okay. California. Oh, yay. That's beautiful, June. A whole ritual for mystery. I might do the same thing, June. I do have some catnip here. So you know what? I will put out an offering of catnip for you. We will collaborate our efforts. Okay? If you light the candle and put out the milk, I will leave an offering of catnip when I go through my crossroads today on the way to HQ. A mystery. I have a kitty too, Miss Eartha Kitty, so I very much am empathetic to anyone dealing with kitty stuff. Yes, Coven, right? You see how we collaborate? What one witch doesn't have, the other one's got. The benefit of community. Let's see. What I pull the specific tarot cards. I'm going to pull a card from this little freebie deck. You have fat nieces and nephews? Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what messages Spirit has from us and the witches alphabet. From the Oracle deck, we have tea, as we sit here for tea and tarot. I love that. Tea, and this is how you would spell it in Theban. So the message for the tea card is about relaxation, contemplation, infusion, healing, enlightenment, and awakening. I'm going to leave those words with you guys as keywords for you to draw on whichever of those resonates with you for this moon phase. I know for me, the contemplation, the enlightenment, and the awakening are really standing out. And this card also relates to healing and relaxation. But the contemplation, enlightenment, and awakening is very relevant to this new moon. We talk about going from the darkness into the light with Diwali. So we are very much focused on going from the darkness into the light, and the ways in which over the next couple of weeks there's going to be a lot revealed to each of us and also to the collective. Because as this newness is coming into our lives, as this new light is coming into our lives, inevitably it's going to shine on some of the areas that are dying, that need to go in order to make room for the newness of our lives. So over the next couple of weeks, that is going to become increasingly clear to us. And when that culminates in the full moon, it will be time for those things that we see with clarity are not a part of our new life and our new vision. And we will see that it is time, in fact, for them to go and time for them to end. Okay? T is our oracle message: enlightenment, awakening, contemplation. We are having our tea right now. Right. Did I say weight gain? Oh my gosh. I hope not. I hope not. Asking spirit for clarification. What we're letting go of. What are we shining light on? Okay. Very straightforward here. Okay, I'm gonna do a little list number so you guys can see. One day soon, with your support, with your super chats and your super thanks, as this channel grows, I'll be able to get like a second camera that can show you like the depth. Can show you like here while I'm also here. So let's put that as a goal for the super chats and the super thanks. That's where they'll be going. Things like that. But hopefully you can see this. I'm going to show the whole lineup because sometimes there's visual parallels in the cards, and I guess maybe I should do it like this because I don't think I'm there. I don't think I'm backwards. Either way, this one should be on the left, on your left. It's on my right, but it should be on your left. Wait. Is that right? I can't tell because my screen is the reverse of you guys, I think. So either way, this is the first card, the Devil card, Capricorn. That's going to be on the left. Yes, Val. Thank you. I appreciate it, Antonia. Thank you so much for the super chat. Going towards our goal of having 2 cameras. Okay. So we have the Devil in the upright, the 2 of Wands in the reverse, and the Hangman. Switch them around. Okay. Yes. Left, middle, and right. I think that's how it should be on your screen. Okay, I hope that worked out. So, what are we letting go of? The Devil card, Capricorn energy. This relates to our work product, so very much in alignment with our oracle message about career advancement. It is going to be super important for us to let go of some of our negative and harmful attachments in this area in particular. Okay, some of us are either perfectionists, trying to create the exact product, the exact project before you move forward, before you show the world what you're working on. This attachment to work. Some of you are overwhelmed with work, or perhaps putting entirely too much emphasis on the amount of time that you spend on your work product, not realizing that that is perhaps not necessary. You're doing too much of trying to hold on to the reins and control everything, control how your career advances or how your job or project progresses. And Spirit is saying you need to let go of those attachments during this new moon because you're actually interfering and causing more harm than good. Okay, we can sometimes let our goals overwhelm us and become so important and so central in our lives that we forget to live. We forget to enjoy ourselves. We forget to give ourselves freedom and give ourselves rest. We have the message from the Oracle of the T card of relaxation and contemplation. So it really feels like some of you have just been going hard on trying to really nitpick all of the aspects of your career, your job, the projects that you're working on, and Spirit is saying that is not necessary right now. Reset your intention, be clear about where it is you want to go and the vision, but you don't necessarily have to spend every waking moment literally shackled to this project or shackled to this job. Because ultimately that is probably draining your personal reserves, draining your energy, and it's keeping you focused on something that's like beside the point, right? The point is to stay focused on where you want to be, not be so bogged down on where you are that you're not putting enough energy and time and attention into holding clear the vision in your mind of where it is you want to be. You know, it's like letting life happen to you a little bit. Oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. And not necessarily stopping and saying, wait, what is the vision for myself? If the vision for myself is to be able to relax, to be able to vacation, to be able to take time off, then how is working every single moment and not putting energy into that going to get me there? It's probably not. So this is an important thing for us to be letting go as we move forward with this new moon phase. For some of us, this is also going to be more in the forms of bad habits and potentially addictions. And you will be praised when you let go of some of these things. It feels like for some of us, there's a fear and of what life is going to be like if we don't have those things that we are addicted to, whether they be substances or bad habits or what have you. They, in a lot of ways, provide us with a certain amount of comfort and like a certain amount of direction, because we sort of orient our lives, orient our days around our addictions and habits in a lot of ways. And by letting go of them, we are free to start over, free to start fresh. So for some of you, this is going to be letting go of bad habits, letting go of addictions that you've already been getting the message you need to do. You just have been telling yourself that you need to know exactly how. Like, I need to make this diet plan. I need to, find this treatment center. I need to da-da-da-da-da-da. And instead, your focus really should just be on your healthy, liberated self, holding that vision clear in your mind and letting spirit guide you to the right resources, the right, diet plan, the right lifestyle change or what have you to help support you and get you there. All right. But we definitely, so much similarity in these two cards here. We definitely want to let go, whether it's let go of the reins or let go of the chains. Might have a future in hip hop. Okay, let go of the reins or let go of the chains, right? So it's a collective reading. Take what resonates and what message works for you. For some of us, like I said, it's more career. For some of us, it's more personal habits. But either way, we are looking at a very clear message to stop trying to control the day-to-day details of how to get there, and instead focus on really clarifying and holding on to the vision of what it is you want to be, the life that you want to be living, the career that you want to have, the health that you want to have, whatever it may be, and know that spirit is there and is going to help push you in the right directions, provide you with the resources, the things you need to get it done. Okay? Going out on faith a little bit here. So use this new moon to reset the intention of the vision and then let go. And that's why I think it's so important that this new moon is an eclipse. Because I think a lot of you would usually set the intention and be like, okay, now I got to cast a spell about it. Now I got to manifest it. Now I got to do something. And Spirit is saying, no, you're unplugging the radio. Okay, and all you have to do is focus on where we want to be when we plug it back in. We are doing the rest, the behind the scenes work. Let us do our thing. Okay. Thank you, June. Cards are hitting right now. Thank you, Jeanette. Okay, so if that resonates, let me know. I wanted to know, what we are calling in, what we can expect to come from this enlightenment, I guess you could say, or this understanding of letting go of the reins, letting go of the chains, and letting spirit help us get where we are going. And we have the Two of Wands in the reverse, followed by the Hanged Man. And so I couldn't really think of a more clear message to pause your efforts, okay? Pause your meddling, you meddling kids. I'm thinking of Scooby-Doo, you meddling kids, stop meddling and trying to nitpick how this comes to be for you. That is not your strong suit in this particular situation. Spirit is like, you are much better at seeing the vision. We are much better at manipulating the energies around you to line up with what it is that you need in order to get to that vision. So it's a tag team effort with you and the universe. You are not controlling the universe. Please don't think so highly of yourself to think that you control the universe. You work together with it. You set your clear intentions. You send your request up to the universe, however you do that, through prayer, through meditation, by setting intentions, repeating affirmations, etc. And then the universe responds with different flows in the energy to support and accommodate that, okay? So Two of Wands in reverse is saying now is the time to pause. And we have, I'm going to show you the card in the upright because you've never seen it before. But in this card, we have a figure who is standing, presumably like on their balcony or their patio. They have one wand, which is firmly attached, and then another one that's in their hand and free to go. And in their other hand, they hold the world in front of them. And this is an energy about contemplation, one of the oracle keywords, and thinking about how much you want to move into the next stage, the next place, the next part of the world that you want to pick up and go to. But there is a comfort in where you are that can make it difficult to move forward. All right. In the reverse, though, which is how we got this card, this is letting us know that this pause is exactly what we need right now. It's okay that you are comfortable where you are at, as long as you don't stay complacent. Those two things are different, okay? It's okay to stay where you are for the moment, as long as mentally you stay focused on where it is you are going to go. Just because you are not packing your bags, just because you are not working out the details of the trip, just because you have not booked a ticket yet, does not mean that you are not on the path. It does not mean that you are not on the journey. It does mean that divine timing is helping you to understand that going might not be the best for you right now. And so your job is to stay focused on where it is you want to go when it is time to move again. But we have this new moon with an eclipse, and this is saying it's not the time to start to be meddling with the details of how we get to where we're going. It's your job to stand on the balcony, get the vision clear in your mind, detail exactly where it is on this globe you are trying to land, preparing yourself so that when the energy starts flowing back in the right direction, when the eclipse is over, as we move out of the new moon phase, you are ready to go. You are ready to jump when the energy shifts. Okay, but the energy for right now is determination, self-control, not control of the situation, self-control, and preparation. Okay. How I break my addiction to alcohol without my schedule universe. Yeah, that that is an example of something that you might be letting go of here. And that's precisely the question. It's not for you to know how, right? So if you are trying to control the little details, then you might not be having as much success as you would if you focus on the vision of yourself as sober. Focus on yourself as a sober being. What does that look like? What does sobriety in your life look like? What does your life look like without alcohol? Do you have more time for yourself? Are you healthier? Do you have more money? Do you have better relationships with your friends and family? Do you fight less? Make that vision clear in your mind. Set your intention for this new moon to be that individual, to be the sobriety that you want. And don't tell yourself that you can't get started on that because you haven't figured out exactly how. That is precisely what the universe is stepping up to say. We got you. We got you on that part. We will send resources your way. We will show you new things to do with your schedule. We will give you that. What you need to do is focus on the clarity of the vision and where it is you want to go and dedicate yourself to that. Okay? Great example, Val, and I am praying for you, my dear. And then we ended off with the Hanged Man that followed after the Two of Wands. And the astrology is here. The enlightenment that the oracle card referenced is here with the Hangman in the reverse. With the Hangman in the reverse, it's telling us that we are moving into a period of a completely different perspective on the situation. And to me, that makes a lot of sense. That I would think is what would happen if you surrender and let go of trying to control everything. If you take a step back and just focus on your vision and let the universe, let your ancestors, let your guides do what they got to do to help line things up for you. Inevitably, I feel like you will get to the full moon, or you will get through this phase and see yourself and the situation totally differently. You will begin to see how the nitpicking that you were trying to do, the control that you were trying to do, is actually slowing down your progress and getting in the way, because you don't know better than the ancestors. You don't know better than the universe. We are so limited as human beings. We can only see what we've already experienced. So if you don't know what it is like to live your life, live your schedule without the addiction to alcohol, for example, to use that voluntarily because you shared that with us, if you don't mind using that example. But as an example, if you don't know what it's like to live the life that you have right now without the alcohol, then you are totally ill-equipped to be the person to be figuring out how to get there. Because you have no point of reference for that. And we humans are really bad at making things happen that we haven't seen happen before. That's why we repeat the things our parents did, because that's what we've seen. So that's how we would go about it. The spirit knows better. They see all the different possibilities for how things can get done in ways that we could never imagine. So give it to them. Put it in their hands. Let them figure out the how, while you focus on the vision. Do I really want that for my life? Do I want sobriety? Am I ready for that? Do I want to see life clearly? Do I want to not have, hangover mornings or arguments that I later regret? Am I ready to let go? Like, a lot of times I think we think about the bad sides, the downsides of things. And we think to ourselves that it would be so easy to let it go. But last night in my Diwali meditation, something came to me, which was, I have become addicted to worry. I have become addicted to fear, especially as it relates to my business, to HQ, to the shop. This whole year that we have made it through, which, by the way, we made it a year. Yeah, I'm so proud of myself. But I would be lying if I didn't say that whole year hasn't been spent with like my heart in my throat and like trepidations. My husband said, "Oh, Betty said hi." See you in the back. My husband's working at his desk over there. Betty, I told him you said hi. He said hi. My husband could tell you every day I come home and he's like, "How was the day?" And I'm like, even though it's fine, you know, nothing catastrophically terrible maybe happened or whatever, but there's just this heavy weight of fear of, I don't know if we're going to make it to tomorrow. You know, today was okay, but I didn't make $1 million. And therefore, I don't know, you know, if I'm going to make it today. But guess what? Here I am a year later, and I've made it to tomorrow. I've made it to tomorrow now 365 times. I've made it to tomorrow somehow. Not how the way I would like, not how the way I could have ever crafted or expected, but I have made it. And in that process, I realized, like, oh crap, like that feeling of, oh my God, I don't know tomorrow, I don't know what it holds, that fear, that worry, I have literally become addicted to it. It lives in my body. And I had a very emotional moment in my meditation, realizing that I need to let go of my addiction to the fear and the worry. I have gotten so used to spending every day unsure, afraid. Every time anyone asks me, how's the business going? Oh, it's okay. One step at a time. You know, I'm so addicted to that response. I'm so used to that feeling. So sometimes we need to maybe check in with that and realize that we claim that we don't want to be sad. We claim that we don't want to be depressed. We claim that we don't want to be in pain, that we don't want to be fearful, that we don't want to be worried, that we don't want to be addicted, that we're actually addicted to those feelings. And we have to actually actively work that out of our bodies. It's not just telling yourself, I'm not going to feel this anymore. Your physical body, and the longer you've been in that state, the more addicted you have become to being and feeling that way. And taking the big and scary jump of saying, I'm going to let that go. I'm going to take a moment to not try to control everything, to have faith that there are higher powers conspiring on my behalf, that all they need from me is to see the vision of where I am going, see it with clarity, and be completely committed to it, refusing to get distracted, refusing to quit because I don't see how it could be, refusing to take no for an answer, refusing to let other people's beliefs that I can't have that or I can't do that, wiggle into my brain. Just being so stubbornly clear about my vision and what I want to create for my future, and letting them guide the rest of the details is going to flip the script for a lot of us. And it is going to have us in a state of seeing everything, including ourselves, differently. Totally differently. And it's like a wild power in powerlessness. There's a wild power that comes from the surrender. Because you realize, oh shit, I am not by myself. I am on a team. I am on a squad. I don't have to do everything because my teammates who are better equipped to do certain things are here to do that part. My job is to do the human part of seeing the vision, and then when they give me the message to do this, to do that, to go here, to go there, to do that rehab, do that program, take that class or whatever, jumping and moving and executing in the physical world, but not trying to control or figure out how it's going to all play out. I'm judging from the comments that is resonating and making a lot of sense to people. So good, because usually I go, does that make sense? Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you so much. I love this gift for this little pear. It's really cute. I love it. Yep, Sabrina, follow that direction without questions. Exactly. You interfering, meddling, ooh, is that the way to do it? Oh, that's not how so-and-so, like all of that stuff is not helping us. It's not helping us. And so I think the beauty of an eclipse is it's going to make a lot of us, because a lot of us in here are witches, right? So a lot of us are coming from a place where we want to take control and execute our will. As I will, so let it be, right? But just because you are willing something, and just because it is going to be what you will it to be, does not mean that you also have to be the person or the being that does all of the little details along the way. It's kind of like you are the captain of the team. You are the CEO of the organization that is this existence that you have. And your spirit team are all of your, I'm going to call them employees, that sort of sounds disrespectful, but they're all your teammates. You know what I'm saying? They're the rest of the team. And if you are playing a game of basketball and you're the team captain, but you also try to be, you try to be the point guard and the forward and the shooter, what other positions are there? What other positions are there in basketball? Forward, guard, shooter, center. Okay, so if you are the team captain and you are trying to be the center, the forward, and the guard all at the same time, you are probably going to be very unsuccessful, right, in playing this game of basketball. So you have to essentially delegate. Yes, Valentina, delegate that. And the way you delegate the spirit, in one way is through spell work, and in another way is through surrender. And the message that we are getting is right now, this phase is about surrender. There's no need to try to manipulate things. Spirit understands the assignment. They know what it is that you that will help you get to where you're trying to be, and they are conspiring to bring those things into your existence. And you trying to supersede them and jump over them and do it your way is actually interfering with what they've got coming for you, which is always way better. Okay? Your job as the captain is to hold the vision. We are going to win this game. We are going to be the champions. We are going to the playoffs. Whatever it is that is your goal, it's your job to hold the vision and keep reiterating that to yourself and to everyone else on the team, and make sure that the things that you do are in alignment with that. And when somebody on the team throws the ball, you're ready to catch. You're not running over there trying to grab the ball and throw it to yourself. Okay? You are standing in your position where you're supposed to be on the court, and you're waiting for your teammates to get things lined up the way it's supposed to be. And when they throw the ball to you, your job is to be right where you're supposed to be, lined up with the hoop so that you can shoot. I pray that sports analogy makes sense, but that's what's coming to me. All right? And it's going to flip the script, like I said, for a lot of us. It is going to help us to see our role in everything. It's going to help us to see that we are the captain of the squad. We are not every player on the team. We have other players that are guiding the way. And this brings me back to our angel card of the Chariot and Archangel Metatron. Archangel Metatron is God's communicator. He communicates the messages from God to us, from the universe to us. So it's important to be open to the messages and be receiving them. And the message that is being delivered is that success is on the way. Advancement is on the way. Your role in this is control, self-control, and determination. Keeping the vision clear, being determined that that is going to be your reality. You are not going to let anything distract you. You are not going to let anything clog up that vision, blur that vision. You are not going to give up on that vision just because you can't see how it's going to come to be. And control. Keeping yourself from meddling, controlling yourself, and surrender. You might need to do daily meditations for the next few weeks to remind yourself to release those attachments to the worry and the fear that keep you meddling with the process. So you might need to do something physical to keep reminding yourself, whoa, self-control, don't meddle. Spirit's got this. What is my vision? Don't get distracted. Don't take your eye off of that. Don't quit. Self-control. Don't get involved with the nitty-gritty. Spirit is doing that for you. These two horses, they understand the assignment. Let them do what they are here to do. Yes, Josie. Josie said, fear is a demon. Sage it and shake that thing off. That's right. Shake that thing off. And I'm telling you, like last night in my meditation, like that came through so hard that I was like, it made me, like, you know, when you have like that weird nervousness that makes you kind of like want to laugh but also cry. Like that's how I felt as I felt my attachment to the fear and the worry being released by the light that was flooding me from the goddess. Like I was literally shedding that feeling. And it was so wild for me because I was like, wow, I didn't even realize that like I was addicted to feeling this way. I just got into a rhythm of waking up every day and being worried about how it was going to play out. Getting to the end of the day and feeling even worse. Actually, I would start off the day a lot of times kind of good and optimistic, but by the end of the day, the events of the day would beat me down because I wouldn't see, you know, things wouldn't happen exactly the way that I wanted. I wouldn't have as many sales, or I wouldn't have as many registrations, or I wouldn't have as many things going on as I had hoped. And by the end of the day, I was deflated, and back in that space of worry and fear. And I just really got used to that flow. So much so that I have to consciously work on letting that go. As much as I don't want to be worried and fearful, the truth of the matter is I got comfortable and kind of hooked on being worried and fearful. And I've got to shake that off. Because being worried and fearful is leading me to nitpick and try to control things, especially about HQ, that would be better left to the ancestors, to the spirits, to the guides and guardians that are around me. My job is to keep the vision, not let fear and worry infiltrate my body and control me, control myself, and let it unfold. Let it unfold. And remember, this moment of contemplation, of keeping the vision, surrender, is allowing for newness to come into our lives, light to come into our lives. That is going to culminate on the full moon eclipse with an ending. So be prepared for that. Remember, we said your job is to line up. So when the ball gets thrown to you, you're ready to shoot. That would be the ball getting thrown to you. The ending of something that you have been rooted in for some time or committed to for some time, launching you into something, this new something completely. So letting go of fear and worry is going to be important, because when we get to the full moon and things come to an end, we do not want fear and worry to cause us to cling to that. We want to be able to see that this is a part of what Spirit is doing for us. We need to have the self-control to not interfere and let that tower crumble. Yeah. Fear robs you of your peace of mind. Leave fear outside. Don't allow it to walk in the door with you. Absolutely. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Woo. I definitely pray that that message resonated with you guys. I think it did. Whether you are watching right now or watching this on the replay, if it did resonate, I very much appreciate you saying so with the super chat. If you're here now, if you're watching this after, you can still do a super thanks. You can do a super thanks now from YouTube on any video, whether it is old or new, to say thank you for the message or thank you for the content. Your super chats and your super thanks are going to support this community and the community that I am growing in person through my shop, BronxWitch HeadQuarters. So please consider doing that if this message resonates. If this message doesn't resonate until a week from now, 2 weeks from now, you can come back to this video and leave a super thanks and let me know. Also, I want to thank you for voting in the poll. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to end it now. So if you have not voted in the poll, there is a poll at the top of the chat. Just asking you guys how you feel about the new setup. Do you like the background? You like the words on the screen? You know, that like jam? Are you really into it? Let me know. And let's see what the poll results are. Oh, you know what? Also, too, there is something that I can do. Watch this. Watch this, guys. So, I don't know if there's going to be like a delay or a lag or how it will go, but I just clicked a button that I think puts the chats on the screen. Now, I didn't do that because I was like, there's the chat on the side. But if you're watching on a phone, I don't know if you're able to see the chats the same way you are on like a computer. So I just threw the chat up on the side. What do you guys think about that? I didn't want to have there like too much stuff going on the screen. So I didn't do that originally. But since I have you, what do you think about that? Would you like to have the chat on the screen? Is it helpful? Are most of you on your phones? Does that make it easier? LMK. Hello. It's a fun feature, okay. Jeremy says it's cool. Sabrina says it's cool. All right, what are we thinking? We like it? Yay! Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Valentonia. I appreciate that, my love, so much. I love these little pictures. She got her little teeth. Thank you. You like it? Very cool. Okay. It seems like people like the chat on the side. So I'll do that next time. I'll do that for the whole time. And the good news is the troll comments don't show up, which is really cool. So you guys don't have to, I was also a little bit worried about like troll comments popping up and being disturbing, but the troll comments, since they're hidden on my end, it looks like they're not coming up on the screen. So that's awesome. Yay. Yay, YouTube filters. Okay, keeping us safe. I appreciate it. I don't think you can do that on Instagram. Like, prevent the trolls. I think you just have to block them. But quite frankly, I love the trolls. Give me all the views. You know what I'm saying? These videos are monetized. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right? And then your pesky little comments can only be seen by me. So I don't have to worry about you bothering everybody else. So I'm with it. Thank you, Leslyn. Right back at you, babe. Yes, BetterWitch is happening tonight. I posted about it, so you guys should be able to access the links to everything. Right when I get off of here, you're going to have some bonus content. Coven members, so you guys get to preview a little bit of our chat with Jasmine Aten, aka Mystic Crossroads, for our episode number 9 of Better Candle Witch. That's all about candle magic. She is, if you don't know Jasmine, you might be new to these YouTube parts. She's been on YouTube for like 10 years. grew up in a hoodoo household, started dressing candles with her mom at 4 or 5 years old. And candle magic is her go-to. She believes that there's a candle for everything. And so if you are into candle magic and want to learn more about it, just hear a candle witch talk about her experiences. Definitely tune in. There's going to be bonus content, like I said, just for the coven. That'll be dropping very shortly. So make sure your notifications are on, or check YouTube in a couple of hours so you'll get a little preview of what you can expect. In the bonus content, Jasmine and I talk about her experiences growing up. So that stuff didn't make it into the episode, so that's extra for you guys. And then at 7 o'clock, we will have the episode. The episode will air as a live watch party, which means you'll be able to chat with me and Jasmine. She's going to be there in the comments of the video. And talk amongst ourselves while the video is playing. And then at about 8:05, when the broadcast is over, a private coven-only live Q&A is going to start up, also right on YouTube. It'll redirect you right there. So as long as you're a coven member, the video will just automatically go into the Q&A. So it shouldn't be hard to find, but it is posted already in the community tab, or on my list of videos as an upcoming thing. And Jasmine already let me know that she plans on being there for the Q&A. So sometimes our guest co-host is not able to join us, but she said she plans on being there tonight. So if you actually want to talk to her personally, ask her some questions about candle magic personally, that would be a great time to do so. All right. You're so good to me. It's my pleasure. Absolutely. So thank you guys so much. It's time for me to get over to HQ. I've got private readings starting at 11. So whoever you are, don't worry. I won't be late. I will be there. And if you would like a private reading with me, then you can book that at bronxwitch.com. If you're looking for information on the shop, coven membership, absolutely everything, bronxwitch.com is the place to be. And I encourage you guys to go there because the scammer situation is pretty bad these days. That's why I didn't put up, I have a Cash App, but I don't put it up and stuff like that because I want people to get used to using the websites of the readers, witches, etc., that you guys are interested in getting services and things from, because that's really the safest way to make sure that you are purchasing from the legit person. Go to their website, pay for things with a credit card through a legitimate payment processor like Stripe or PayPal or Square. Try to get out of the habit of doing business with people in the DMs, cash apping people you've never met before, and things like that, because you're really, setting yourselves up for being scammed. Okay, so please, if you have any questions about absolutely anything, BronxWitch.com is the best place to go. And if you're buying anything or booking anything with me, if you're doing it through BronxWitch.com, you can be absolutely certain that you're actually buying or booking with me. Okay, so BronxWitch.com is the place to go for everything. And I'm going to end the poll. And perhaps not surprising, 85% of you love the new layout and 40 of you voted. So thank you so much, guys, for your opinion. There are a couple of you, a small percentage, that go back to the old layout, but the overwhelming majority of you guys like this new layout. I think it's a lot more interactive, fun, and Scorpio season, yo. Like I said at the beginning, it's Scorpio season, it's a new moon, it's an eclipse, it's Diwali, it's Samhain next week. So if you are not in the mood for complete and utter transformations of your life, then you might just want to just go take a nap and just stay there for the next 2 weeks, because the vibe is nothing but transformation. So All right, I think that's everything. I think I got all the comments. Hopefully you can always comment down below after the video is over, and I'll get back to you. But otherwise, I just want to thank you guys for having another tea and tarot morning with me. This was super awesome. Stay tuned for the readings and lives and things that will be happening on Samhain, because that's a very special day and I would love to share it and spend it with you all. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, see you guys at the full moon, November 8th. Oh. All right. Bye, guys. Have a beautiful day. Blessed be.